Hello, greetings from snowy Poland once again. Not a huge amount to report this time, the same as last time, really. With the last upload, because there's absolutely nothing in the way of new releases here right now. But what I wanted to go over this time was the fact that I've got a few deals up and running in the shop. I implemented the first of these, I think, in late November last year, and that one concerns the first two volumes of the Grim Humour book. And the idea there is that you can buy both of the first two volumes together for a lower price. That's actually been quite successful, and I've only got 2 copies of the first volume left. So once they've gone, I have to close the deal. The deal finishes at the end of this month anyway, January 2024. But that's the first deal, and again, I'm probably close to that finishing anyway, regardless of the end of the month deadline. The third Grim Humour book is also available to pre-order and will appear in late spring. But what I should sort of make clear right now is that once those first 2 Grim Humour books have gone completely, I will not reprint them. There will be no more. I did several hundred of each, and I think they've really gone as far as they possibly can beyond what I can do with the deal, and perhaps the second volume of the book, the one concerning 87 to 90, perhaps that. Well, obviously I need to sell those. I've got, as I said, I've got about 15, 16 copies left. They need to go. So once they've gone, that's also it. So no more Grim Humour books once the first book sold out, and I'm 2 copies away from that. So getting quick. Had a few orders for it over the last week or so, and it's quite a bulky package as well that you'll end up getting if you do decide to go for it. The 2 volumes are like this. I'll just turn this down. I don't know what it is I'm listening to. But that sounds like somebody scrunching paper. So, and trying to talk through it at the same time. So, I think it's something on Mark Harwood's penultimate press. Matthew P. Hopkins, I think. I don't know. I can't remember. Can't remember what I'm playing. But anyway, something on vinyl, and you probably can't hear it anyway, and thus this talking about it will be rendered completely meaningless. But anyway, yeah, that was the first deal. So get in quick if you're interested in the first 2 Grim Humour books. A lot of reading there as well, and they are bulky books, A4 and thick books, 250, 300 pages in each. All thanks to Puppy 38, the designer, did a stunning job in assembling both of those volumes, and I'm sure he'll do the same again with the third one. The second deal, or deals, I should mention, the second of all these deals I should mention, are 2 concerning special deals of vinyl and CD releases. Both there are 2 deals related to vinyl and CD releases upcoming, and releases that have happened quite recently, recently enough, you know. Um, One of those I called a premium deal because it's slightly more expensive and it will get you more in the way of upcoming releases, and current releases, currently available releases. And the other one is just a regular deal, where you get the current ATV album and some upcoming releases as well. Both of those are in the shop and will be linked below, the same as the Grim Humour. I'm going to put links below this to each of the deals. Um, so that's those. Everything related to each deal um, is noted in great detail or greater detail in the actual shop. So if you're interested, then just look at the links. Go to the links below, and they will take you to the shop, and you can read, you know, more about each of these deals. So that's 3 deals. The fourth deal I set up, I think, a week and a half ago, just amounts to some CDs. The last Kleistwahr CD, For the Lives Once Lived, the last JFK CD, Avalanche Zone, the last Ashtray Navigations album that I put out, One From Then Another. Those 3 titles plus a title of your own choice, or if you don't do that, I will randomly pick something from the back catalogue. So, you know, a separate title, not a repeat of the other ones, a separate one from the back catalogue of your own choice, that you can make clear when you send your order. And 4 CDs for, I can't remember how much I'm doing them for, £17 plus a nominal shipping fee, I think. So an absolute bargain. And again, I just want to clear, I've said this countless times in these uploads, I cannot stand having unsold stock here. I've got very limited space anyway. My wife doesn't like me, understandably, taking over other rooms in the house. I've already taken up lots of room in the attic, so probably the best place for me as well. So I I I'm limited with how much I can store here. So I always say I need quick turnaround. I know I understand why some people or some small labels and some artists make it clear that they like, or make it clear just how important availability of all their albums or all of their releases is to them. And I you know, that's fine in theory, but in practice it's not really, it's just not pragmatic, you know. So don't know how people do it. And also I find, unless you're really lucky, you know, if you're really fortunate, once a release is out and it's done its thing over a period of, if you're really lucky, over a period of a few months. These days it can be a few days before the interest kind of wanes. It's shit. Everything's really, you know, quick turnaround. People have got very limited attention spans. Everything's, you know, quick. And you know, um, you're up against a lot when you're on social media and you know, social media platforms, because everybody's trying to sell their stuff or push something, and your particular release will just get lost in that deluge. So what was I saying? Yeah, I like quick turnaround, and I don't want to be sitting on loads of unsold stock. When I see unsold stock here, and there's plenty of it here, of certain releases over the years that I've done, I just think, you know, it's a shame these are not, you know, in somebody's home, because I know there are people that would appreciate a lot of these releases, and B, you know, I'm looking at money. So I'm looking at um, um, unsold stock means, you know, revenue that I didn't get back on each unit or each title. So and you know, I can't be any more barefaced than that. That's what it is. I look at it and think, well, it's just money sitting there. So after a while, I um, you know, after, you know, after seeing some of this stock just sitting there for months and months without moving, I'm more inclined to do what I'm doing now, and that's to do these deals just to keep pushing things. It may seem a little unfair. Well, it is unfair. There's no other way of looking at it, to those people that do pre-order things from me or buy things as soon as they're released, because, you know, if they wait, well, mind you, depends what it is, because some things sell out. But in some cases, in some cases, it might seem unfair because, you know, 6 months down the line, I might be reducing the price, and not only that, offering that particular release with a couple of others, at a bargain price. I'm very much aware of that, and as I've always said, if anybody is that pissed off about anything, just write to me and ask for some discount or something. You know, I'll gladly. I'm very flexible. I don't. I've also stipulated this before. I hate that kind of boutique label mentality. You know, I'm not unapproachable generally. Um, I am when it comes to demos. Fucking hate them. Um, um, yeah, unsolicited demos. Please, no. Um, 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 Generally, I'm pretty approachable, especially when it comes to people that have bought stuff. Um, just write to me. You know, if you're unhappy about something, why did you sell me this for that price back then, and now it's this? Well, okay, have a few pounds off the next release. No problem. So I'm not snobbish or aloof about any of this. It really is about the music, and um, my main concern beyond getting the music out there is just to recover costs, recover outlay, and when it comes to vinyl releases, that becomes really, really difficult. Vinyl is really bloody expensive now. I've had to contend with a couple of major bills in the last year or so. They're phenomenal. It's outrageous. So um, I don't think anybody has any idea of just how much vinyl costs now. I still think vinyl in shops, in retailers, is overpriced. Having said that, especially from big labels and big indie labels, you know, indie labels that are not really indie, you know, independent. Um, uh, so yeah, I think that's still very much overpriced. But or they are still very much overpriced. But at my level, um, I think I still sell vinyl at a good price or a reasonable price. But you know, you need to sell a couple of hundred of any one title to kind of uh, re- well, I don't think you can even break even at that price now. So, at the prices I do my releases for, yeah, I really need to sell everything out. It's as simple as that. Everything needs to go. So maybe that's how I should close this, because the very last deal that I wanted to mention is a vinyl one, and it's also um, back to Kleistwahr as well. I've got that Kleistwahr double LP that I did last summer, the reissue of Acceptance Is Not Respect and Down But Defiant Yet. Really good double LP. Cost the bloody earth. And I probably sold 70 copies direct, you know. fucking outrageous. Um, so that probably goes some way to explain why A, that's included in this deal, and B, why I'm doing an upload about deals right now. I need some more, custom right now. Basically, I can't make it any more plain than that. Anyway, that Kleistwahr deal is that double LP plus the previous two Kleistwahr LPs, the reissue LPs of the old Broken Flag cassettes that I did. Um, yeah, Do Not and Mobility, the one-sided LP. All three of those, again, for a really bargain price. If 10 to 20 people just ordered that, I would be very happy right now. Um, so, these are that kind of shows what numbers I'm up against here. 10 to 20 orders, direct orders for a deal would make a difference at the moment, a slight difference. Not after hundreds and hundreds of sales. Of course, that would be lovely, but I am a realist. Um, you know, a lot of the music that I deal with just doesn't. It's never going to reach a wider audience than the few hundred people that these records or CDs go out to. And that's globally as well. So it's not a lot, is it? Um, um, yeah. Of course, people sometimes ask me about streaming and whatever, but my heart's never been in that. It really hasn't. And yeah, Puppy 38 has set up some streaming platforms or digital platforms, I should say, um, for me for Fourth Dimension Records. And I don't know. I never even think to ask any of the artists if they want to do anything because I'm so immersed in physical formats and the time necessary for those alone that I don't really think about anything beyond. Um, Time is already stretched enough for me. So um, anyway, that's really why I was here this time, just to say that there are a few deals available, and I think they all. How many did I list? Three, five CDs, LPs, um, Grim Humour books, and the two types of special deal. 5 different deals. Each of those will be listed below or linked below, and I think they all run out by early February at the very, very latest. Um, so probably on the 2nd or 3rd of February, all of these will go anyway. So if you're interested in any of those, now is the time to strike. And maybe one last thing is that if you are interested in being being included on my mailing list for the very latest mail out of trade items, mail order items. I don't do a lot of that anymore. I always keep it to a couple, again, because of space, keep it to 200 to 300 items. Um, and also, I've got most of those listed in Discogs as well. If you're interested in in receiving that list, write to me direct and say that you want to see the list, or check out the Discogs as well, and I'll put the link for that below. So I think that's really it this time. Just lots of deals and my pathetic attempt to keep the wheels turning, or the 3 wheels that are still left on the cart, turning. Because definitely the cart has never had 4 wheels on it. Kind of walking along like that, pushing it along. Yeah. Um, and maybe I was going to talk about a couple of releases just to round things off. Something that maybe I can talk about a couple of things that are listed on my list of records to sell. I mean, I finally got round to playing that last week. The BEF, British Electric Foundation reissue of their first. Was it the first album? music for stowaways, or is it a collection of early material? I can't remember, but this is on Cold Spring. That's really good, actually. Anybody that knows anything about the guys behind this will know that there are Heaven 17 and early Human League connections, which might put some people off, but early Human League were phenomenal, really good. So if you're interested in early electronic music, early kind of post-punk, post-industrial electronic music, this stuff's good, and that's where this fits in as well. It's not synth pop, or whatever. There might be some melodic pieces here that hint at that direction, which is no bad thing. I remember buying Heaven 17's Fascist Groove thing, or Thang, 12-inch, when it came out in the early 80s. Great song, absolutely phenomenal. I've also been playing that as well. Pretty wild improv music. Yeah, and I think I've got a couple of copies of that in stock at the moment. Really good. Was it on the Umlaut label? I think it's oh dear, I can't see with this light. Dear, yeah, Mats Gustafsson and oh, I don't know. I think that was the main guy on this. Yeah, somebody on bagpipes. I like bagpipes. I'm in the minority. Anyway, that's really good. Just good, wild, and intense improv. Really nice. You know, that photo says everything you need to know. And I've also been playing that. That's been on the turntable the last couple of days. This is Buddha with a guy who operates under the name N, and every time N does a release, he just puts a number next to it, kind of chronologically organizing each release accordingly. I think this is 115. Don't know if you can see it, but anyway, that's good. That's on the Alf Abwägen label from Germany. Really nice. Three, if I remember correctly, three long, again, kind of music concrete, inflected, and guitar orientated drone tracks, which may not in and of itself sound that great, but these three pieces are stunning. Really nice. I've been playing that a lot. Yeah, and Buddha is a duo of Emerge, the guy from Attenuation Circuit, and Chris Sigdell, who I went on tour with in the 90s, when he was in a kind of noise rock group, Phased 4 Degrees Fahrenheit, and Splintered, my old group, played with them in 97, I think it was. Yeah, short European tour. And that's when most of Splintered left, and I had to quickly assemble another group together to oblige the tour. Anyway, I think we survived somehow, despite everything we were smoking and whatever. Anyway, yeah, those albums are all really good. They're all available from me at the moment, as well as being available from plenty of other places as well. Yeah, I'll be back here soon. I think the next release coming is the Fallen Sun CD in a few weeks, and more about that next time. And the Edward Caspel LP should be here later this month as well, all going well. And then there are a few other things happening. Hopefully, in the quite near future. But more about releases that I'm doing next time. In the meantime, links once again below for all of these different deals, and support appreciated and most welcome. And it looks really, it looks like I'm in a fog. It does. It's terrible. It gets dark so early here. Yeah, looks like I've just come out of a horror film. Yeah. Anyway, quite literally. Thanks a lot. Anyway, and I'll be back here again soon. Cheers.